Another excellent resource that I want to talk to you about is called Remind. Remind can be web-based, but I mostly use Remind on my cell phone or my school-issued iPad, but mostly I use the app on my cell phone. I wasn't even certain that there was a web-based for Remind until I started doing some research for this project. So that's exciting for me to find out as well. Remind is an excellent source that you can use to communicate with your students' parents. If you have older students who have cell phones, it would even be an excellent resource for you to communicate directly with your students at home, to send them, well, it's called Remind, so send them reminders, things like that. But again, this is just excellent parent-student communication resource for all teachers to use. Not only did I use Remind as a teacher, but I used it when I was coaching Girls on the Run as well. So it doesn't have to be used just in an education setting. It could be used really in any setting where you need to communicate with a set of parents or a set of specific people. What I really love about Remind is that most people have a cell phone, so they're always texting or checking emails, things like that. I've discovered that my parents check their Remind app way better than they check their emails. So it's honestly like sending a quick text message without my parents having my actual personal phone number, which is awesome because they respond right away like it is a text message, but then they don't have my personal cell phone number. It all goes through the app. Messages that you send can go either to their app if they have the app, or they can have it sent directly to their phone as a text message. But those text messages do cost as a text message rate. So it's important to communicate with your parents when you set this up that if they have it set up to go to their texts, that they could be charged for that. Most people, that's not an issue, but if people are pretty tight financially and don't have texting or something like that, it's important to communicate that with them. All right, so when you type in remind.com, this is what comes up for you. If you don't have an account, you can sign up, or you can click to see how it works, things like that. So it says right here, school communication shouldn't be that hard. And it really isn't. This app has been fantastic. If you are familiar with ClassDojo, this is kind of similar in the communication aspect, but you can't give students points and things like that. It's mainly just for communication. Okay, so here's my account, and for the purpose of this video, I did delete all of the parents that I had from the previous school year, just for confidential reasons. I didn't want to share the conversations that we had about students and things like that. But I will still show you kind of some announcements that I gave. So you can send, sorry about this, personal messages to each individual parent. So if I had an issue with Johnny, I could send Johnny's mom or dad a message individually, or I can send an announcement. So if I wanted to send a message to everyone that's in this Remind group, I would send them an announcement. The downfall of the announcements is that it does have to be a certain amount of characters. So they have to be short, sweet, and to the point. When you directly message a parent or a member of the group, you can type as much as you want. So here's some examples of what I send off and on throughout the year. We had a Fit 6 coming up where the student had to have a sack lunch. So that morning, before most of the students were probably awake, I got up and I sent out this reminder that said, hey, to remind them to bring their sack lunch. Okay, it was a good reminder around assessment time. You can send pictures, which is great. So as my students were getting ready to enroll for junior high, this particular sheet was going to go home, so I wanted to send a picture with that so that the parents knew exactly what to be looking for. So they had a test coming up for this example. They had a math test coming up, and to encourage my parents to help their child study, I sent them a page of the review questions with the answers. That way they would feel confident in helping their students study for that math test. So what I would recommend, or what I did in the past, is I had the sign-up page for the Remind app on my iPad at parent night, and I just had this parents type in their phone number or their email if they would like. Of course, I did not require parents to do this, but most of them really liked this form of communication. And they give you a code, which is right up here. If they type this in, the class code, it will automatically put them in your class. Okay? And this is nice because you can erase and you can type in whatever class code you would like it to be. But I would highly recommend using Remind. The most people, again, the audience would be mostly parents. But again, if you have older students, I could see how that could really benefit sending out reminders to high school, upper junior high. Hey, remember we have a test tomorrow, this or that. But mostly I use it with my parents. But I encourage you to give it a try.